Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Senior Vice President, Systems Engineering, Roger Anderson.
Hi. All right. Hello. Thank you for coming back to day 2 general session. First thing I think we should do, big round of applause to our Innovation Award winners, please. Really some fantastic stuff. So hopefully, now you've been here for last night, you've been here through the day, gone to sessions, maybe you checked out the hands-on labs, spending time at Insight Central with partners, seeing all sorts of cool ways that we're enabling the data fabric. In fact, just as yesterday, I have an example. The US Navy had an issue they were trying to overcome. They had four geographically dispersed sites. They need to be able to consolidate backup of classified data to a single site. They used StorageGrid and AltaVault to accomplish that. And they were very successful. So just yet another example, building data fabric. So you've seen a lot, and you're going to see more of that in the general session today. We have, as I mentioned yesterday, a fantastic demo, just some really cool stuff. Can't imagine that you're not going to be thrilled with it. One of the things you're really going to see in that demo is data mobility, a key part of building the data fabric. So we'll be able to show you moving data from disk to flash to cloud, varying speed, varying performance, different workloads. So hold tight for that one. And we're going to show you more on how we're going to address customer challenges, as we go throughout the event. So I mentioned yesterday, building data fabric is going to take all of us. From a technology perspective, cluster data OnTap is the foundation. But data fabric is more than just NetApp technology. It's about our partners. Fujitsu has been a long-time, fantastic partner for NetApp. And the technical leader who is responsible for bringing cluster data OnTap into their business is here with us today. To talk more about their experience and what they're learning about data fabric, I'd like to bring on our CIO of NetApp, Cynthia Stoddard. Cynthia?
Thank you, Roger. Well, good afternoon, everyone. I hope you had a great day here at Insight. And it's an honor for me to be here. For those of you who don't know me, I know Roger said I'm the CIO, but I'd also like to point out that I'm also NetApp's first customer. My IT team partners with NetApp Engineering to put the products through its paces in a real Fortune 500 environment. It's so exciting to see NetApp's amazing innovation come to life. And if you haven't met my NetApp on NetApp team, I would encourage you to go to Insight Central. They have a booth there, and they can provide you a tremendous amount of information, very open and honest. Now, we haven't seen anything yet, but we're at a powerful time in our company and also for the IT industry. The cloud, the explosion of data, and increased business complexity further drives the need to escalate IT's value, and also our ongoing innovation. The bar for IT has always been high, but is getting higher every day. It's also exciting to see how the digital world is bringing new business models to life and transforming our entire world. As IT practitioners, we must partner and work together to help our customers be successful. Now, speaking of partnering, NetApp has the best ecosystem of partners in the entire world, on this planet. And today, yes, give us a hand. And today, we're going to be discussing a unique collaboration between NetApp and Fujitsu, and what we're doing to set the new standard for IT, but not just for IT, for our customers. Our two companies have a long-standing and successful relationship, working together on innovation in many, many different areas. such as the converged infrastructure, SAP infrastructures, hybrid IT, cloud, and also on converting to cluster data OnTap, the transitions. So please welcome Bernhard Brandwitte, Vice President of Storage for Fujitsu.
Hey, good afternoon.
Welcome, welcome.
Thank you so much, Cynthia. This is amazing. Thank you so much for this kind introduction and this wonderful opportunity to be here. It is absolutely fantastic. For me, the first time in Las Vegas, right? And being in front of this amazing audience, whoa, what a sight. I'm already overwhelmed. So I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
That's great. So let's take a seat.
Oh, that's cozy.
It is.
I like
it
that.
is. So it is, and I'll get cozy here too. So you've talked about Fujitsu, but you've called Fujitsu the best kept secret in the industry. Can you tell me why, what you mean when you say that?
Oh, that's kind. Actually, let me quickly introduce Fujitsu to the audience, just very, very briefly. So we are just celebrating our 80th birthday. So we're the second oldest company, IT company on this planet. We're doing approximately 50 billion in terms of turnover, US dollars. We have got 160,000 employees around the world. A really, really global company we are trading. And we have got a lot of engineering power. I always compare it to the Toyota and BMW of the IT world. Actually, talking about German cars in the moment is maybe not the right example, given the Volkswagen.
I have one of those German cars, by the way.
Given the Volkswagen measurement disaster.
Yes.
Talking about measurements, you guys have maybe seen some of the EMC benchmarks lately, SPC1 and SPC2. You might want to check what's in the small print there. I actually double-checked that. There's also some interesting software involved, so Michael is probably worthwhile checking this. Right? Anyway, coming back to Fujitsu, we really do everything in IT. We do RFID sensors, we do PCs, we do laptops, we do notebooks, we do x86 servers, we do Unix servers, mainframes. We also have got a very, very long underwater cable connecting various continents. We do satellite communication, we do robots. We also have got a car management system in place. We do ATM, so very, very large in terms of hardware, but also we are very strong when it comes to services. We are a very large service provider in this industry, managed services, but also strong break and fix services, again, globally, and a very strong cloud offering with your help, private cloud as well as hosted cloud, but we're also doing public cloud offerings. And we strongly believe in the power of the people in this room, combined with the power of IT, that we can actually make this world a better place.
That's great. That's absolutely great. Now, I said we have a great partner ecosystem at NetApp. And I believe we have a similar system. Can you talk about your partner network and fill us in on that?
Oh yeah, more than happy to do so. But let me just refer one second to what has happened yesterday. When we look at the new giant being generated, this is actually playing into our hands because what we are doing in terms of partnership is so strong. We have been doing a very successful partnership between Fujitsu and NetApp now for more than 17 years. So actually, thank you very much for this wonderful business we have been doing together, and we will continue to do so. So we're really, really strongly partner-centric as well as you guys are, and we will not lock our customers in as some of the other guys are doing. And we are seeing that in funny behaviors, and I will not talk about that now. But generally speaking, we love VMware. We are working very close together with Veeam. We have got very strong partnerships also with Oracle. We work very close together with Cisco. So very, very strong global partnerships we have got in place. But we're also working very close with our customers, AT&T, Blue Cross Blue Shields, Verizon, all of these customers, we are actually working with them to create new solutions for them in a very partnership approach.
That's great. That's absolutely great.
But I was talking about partners. What about customers? You are a customer of ours. What do you think of Fujitsu?
You know, I am a customer. We've been a customer for a long time. You know, you're an excellent partner. I feel you have solid engineering and technology. But I think what sets you apart from my perspective, and I think my team would agree with me, is really the high quality support and service that you provide. Your team is really responsive whenever we need anything. You know, I'll give you an example. We've built out a new data center in Hillsboro, Oregon, And your team was right by our side until the data center was successful, up and running. And everybody in here who is an IT professional knows that data center migrations are not easy to do. So I would say that you were a partner with a capital P. It's the people, it's really the people that make a difference. So we work with you for a number of different reasons. I would say that it's because of the integrity of the team. You sell to us, but you really don't sell to us. You listen to our problems, and you help us with solutions. Trust, you share information. And I think that's really important in a partner to ensure that you believe what they're saying. You're visible, you're on site when we need you. So, everybody here, I'm sure, has times of the month or times of the year, like year end, where you need to have additional support. Just to make sure that they're on site and they're there to support us through those times. You don't try to just sell things to us. You tell us what you can't do. And I really appreciate that, because knowing what you can do and what you can't do is really important. And you make life easier. You're constantly looking for ways to improve our data center operations and help us in that space. And just to close, one point, you do that globally. You don't do it just in the Americas or Europe or different ways in different areas. You have consistent service globally, and I would say, how easy is it to find a provider that has consistent level of service globally?
Thank you so much, Cynthia. That's really appreciated.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you. I think we have a great partnership. Now, I want to kind of move on a little bit here to a new topic and talk a little bit about digital. Yesterday, George Kurian talked about how the digital world is speeding up business. And from the video, I think you're doing a lot in the digital world. Can you kind of fill us in on what Fujitsu's view of digital is and how you're participating?
Yeah, more than happy to do so. Let me refer this to what we call the human-centric intelligent society. So we are working towards a human-centric intelligent society with our customers and our partners. And in essence, it's actually what we're doing is we are using the physical world and try to mirror that into a digital world. And out of that, we can actually make better decisions. And actually, data fabric is really, really important. We need to move data in order to do so.
Right.
This sounds a little bit abstract, so let me get some real examples in order to make it a bit more concrete. We have seen the wonderful video earlier on, and let me take the example of flying. For every spare part which is leaving the Seattle factory of Boeing, there's an RFID sensor attached to that spare part. And out of that, we can actually find out what is the usage of the spare parts, where is it used, what's the wear, what's the tier. But also, we are trying to prevent forgery, actually, by being able to track these components down. One example, we are also currently working on a haptic display. Haptic display could work very, very nicely in retail stores. So you can actually feel the fabric. Or in a dashboard of a car, you can actually feel the knobs, or you can feel the turns. And let me also share with you some of my personal experience. I come from a very remote location in Germany. And in that remote location, we have got a lot of farmers. Since 2010, Fujitsu is actually providing a cloud service for farmers. And it's a community cloud. So we are gathering information out of the animals, from the animals, out of the ground and soil, and we bring that information again together to make better decisions. So I've just recently been to a farm, and a modern farm, and you actually notice that the cows have got a movement sensor around their neck nowadays. And this movement sensor is giving you information. And that information, for example, if the cow is not moving enough, then the vet has to come in. Or if the cow is moving too much, then actually the bull has to come in. So that is something we're doing already since 2010, that kind of thing.
Okay.
and we strongly believe, as I say, it is a funny example out of my world, but we strongly believe that doing this, using the power of IT, using us as innovators, that we can really make this world a better place. And I actually mean us all in the audience, and also NetApp and Fujitsu coming together. And we truly believe in the digital transformation. It's a great opportunity for us all. And actually, it starts very much with the C-dot migration. This is essential that we are getting our data fabric idea on the ground, and actually it's not on the ground, it's actually already there. We see a lot of customers using it today. But also we can still shake the old ERP world in a very nice way. We can drive convergence, and we also can benefit much more out of the cloud as it is today. So innovation together is really the key word.
It really is. So I talk to customers all the time, but I've never thought about using cows and bulls to describe data fabric, but I'll keep that in my back pocket. But when I do talk with customers, they want to be faster, they want global, more mobile, social, digital. So what is Fujitsu doing to help them with these forces of change?
Maybe we look at some very concrete examples here. We are seeing that a lot of customers of ours are trying to balance between the system of records and the system of engagements, but in the same time also making sure that they're offering the best service to their clients. Tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, there will be a wonderful breakout session of a Finnish colleague of mine. He will talk about a very, very interesting customer. A customer where we have got a very long-term relationship with. We have already in 2006 have installed a SAP infrastructure for him. It's actually a service provider. By the way, in Finland, 80% of all IT processing is done with service providers by now. So this service provider has in 2006 installed an infrastructure for running SAP as a shared service to different clients. And he has asked us, 9 years later, to do a refresh of the system because he wanted to increase actually the power of the system. First of all, adding HANA to it and making sure that he's able to do real-time analytics, but also more availability. We wanted to do a Metro cluster. We wanted to do the migration also towards C-dot. And we have done it. We have done it over a weekend. We have done the whole migration, a wonderful case we have done there. And the data fabric idea really empowers what we have done over there. And you know, the customer is now really, really happy because he can offer data analytics as a service, but he's also able to offer now more expensive SLAs to their customers. And he's actually also he's able to run more clients on the same shared infrastructure. So really, really effective.
That's absolutely wonderful. Can you talk just a little bit more about FlexFrame and tell us what type of efficiencies and what it can drive into the marketplace? Because I think that's also a key component of the cloud and the data fabric story that you have.
Absolutely. So this was also a customer which is using FlexFrame. Actually, FlexFrame is not called FlexFrame anymore. It's now called PrimeFlex for SAP landscapes. Interesting way we are playing with words here. But it's one of our converged solutions. Actually, it was probably the first converged solution on the planet. Certainly a private cloud solution which was available. And what we have done a good decade ago, we have actually decoupled the intelligence of a system from the pure processing with the help of NASboot, right? Being able to do that and being able to move data around. And that is still so strongly powerful also nowadays. We've got a great customer, Lufthansa. Lufthansa is doing more than 1 million zaps on this PrimeFlex for SAP landscapes. More than a petabyte of data they are processing on 45 servers. And they initially did it for their 15 internal departments, but then they realized the power of the system, and they have added also services to it, and they're able to service customers outside of the Lufthansa environment. And with that, actually being able to offer the first hybrid cloud scenarios.
Yeah, so hybrid cloud is great, and to be hybrid, I believe that you need data fabric. Can you talk a little bit more about some of your customers that are going down the route of using data fabric?
Yeah, there's one more very interesting customer here in the US, Pepsi it is, actually. Pepsi has just installed an all-combined customer. They've just installed very powerful x86 server primaries from Fujitsu, but also a fast 8040 system for doing HANA, SAP HANA, doing really, really fast-time analytics of their information they have got. And that's something they're currently doing on-premise, so they're doing that in their own, behind their own firewalls, but they're also now looking at an opportunity to bring this into a hybrid cloud scenario.
Yeah, so you see that people are moving down the path of hybrid.
Absolutely, and let me just quickly also look at this from a different perspective. So we're seeing on the one hand side opportunities in the converged environment, and it's really interesting what we have been doing with our V-shape in the past. So we have been able to do something very simple, because I also like, or we really like to bring simplicity back into IT. Sometimes it's so complex. And what we have done together, we have added some server power, some filers from you guys, some Brocade switches, some hypervisor from Microsoft and VMware, and we have just brought it together into one single order code, and we are able to offer this. And one interesting customer we have got actually is called UCS. It's nothing to do with Cisco. It's a university campus of Suffolk. It's a small university. They really, really like that solution which we have got in place, because they were able to start with 20 VMs and then add more and more to it. Actually, this V-shape is now scaling up to 4,000 VMs, and we have just one really, really large Scottish bank doing so. So again, it's about simplicity, it's about movement of data, it's about building data fabrics. But there's also another opportunity when it comes to the cloud side of things. So with FlexArray, with Stoddard, with the strong integration into VMware and also with OCI, we can actually now mirror the same processes in the cloud as on-premise. And that's something which is really appreciated by the customers, and we're seeing more and more adoption of this. And it's a great opportunity for us.
Yeah, cloud is absolutely a new frontier, great opportunity. But sometimes cloud adoption is a little bit difficult to get your arms around. Do you have any advice that you would give to the audience, everybody here, as they're going down their cloud journey?
Ladies and gentlemen, it's all about communication. The business line do not want to talk IT. The business lines really want to find solutions for their current problem. And the problem could be, fast analytics of existing data, setting up a new business, doing a merger, searching for the best manufacturing process, ensure compliance in every purchase. These are the problems they are looking for solutions. They don't want to talk, feeds and speeds of IT. What we do, we love to talk about IT, and we need to use that knowledge which we have got in order to articulate really, really strong solutions for the problems of our business. And that's something we can actually do. And in order to stay on budget, to stay in line with budget, and to be very effective, it is really important that we are talking about data fabrics, that we're talking about the same processes, that we are using different delivery models of IT in order to fulfill the requirements of our guys in business. And with delivery models of IT, I mean products, I mean solutions, I mean services, I mean the cloud, and the different kinds of cloud. And that's something which is now enabling, with the wonderful technology of NetApp, combined with the strong knowledge of the people in the room, we are able to provide something for our customers.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. It's the technology, it's the partnership, and it's the people. It's everybody here who's going to make the technology work with the right assistance. And I think our powerful partnership that we have can really enable a lot of organizations to move forward. I mean, I've seen it within our own data center with the support that you've given us. So it's really been a pleasure today to speak with you, and I thank you very much for coming all the way from Germany to spend some time with us.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you again.
Thank you.
Nice job. All right. Thank you, Cynthia, and thank you, Fujitsu very much for the sponsorship of this program and all the joint business we do together. So right now we're going to jump into a lightning round with our platinum sponsor, VMware, and joining me up here shortly will be Jeff Freeman. Jeff's a Senior Executive Director of Systems Engineering. He's been in the industry 25 years. He's been with VMware 9 years. Certainly has seen a lot of transformations over that time. I'd like to bring Jeff out. Jeff.
Hey, Roger.
How you doing, Jeff?
Great, thanks.
Good. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Now, we had a little conversation yesterday. I'm sure if we wanted to, we could talk about football, we could talk about Maryland, we could talk about SE stuff, but we should probably get into the content.
Okay, let's do it. Well, my team's the Redskins, so there's not a lot to talk about these days. So.
All right.
You got a few fans?
Got a couple. Maybe let's start off a little bit. Your role at VMware.
Sure.
What are you responsible for?
Yeah, so, and again, thank you for having me. Thank you for sponsoring us, NetApp Insight 2015. We're extremely excited to be here today. My name is Jeff Freeman. I'm the Senior Director of Systems Engineering at VMware. I have a team of roughly 100 different SEs in my organization. And I've been with VMware for about 9 years.
Great, great. So, we've both been in the industry for a bit. We've seen a lot of vendors come and go in this space, but we've always had good alignment between NetApp and VMware. So what do you attribute that to?
Yeah, it's great. On a personal level, I've always been very connected to NetApp. Being in the Bay Area and having, our corporate HQs pretty close together. But when I think about the symmetry of our partnership, I think about it in two ways. In one way, there's this culture of our teams, and we both run large system engineering organizations, and both of our teams are really passionate about the success of our customers, and they're passionate about innovation, right? And the second element, when we think about innovation, you think about what have we done at a corporate scale, the engineering work that we've done. So we think about building storage primitives as part of the VASTA Storage API or VAAI, the VMware storage controller that we worked on and brought to the marketplace to simplify vCenter deployments when you're working with FAS. Those truly embody that real partnership from a technology perspective as well. And so when I think about, our customers, we have almost 50,000 joint customers in the marketplace today, so we've just done some incredible things.
Yeah, that's great. And certainly the innovation, passion for innovation and customer success, that's what resulted in the 50,000 joint customers, right?
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Great stuff. All right, so we have a long history of innovating together. To you, what are some of the most impactful examples of that?
Yeah, no, it's a great question. We've been around for a while. Again, the partnerships has been around since 2002, and I think about probably three major things that we've done together as partners. From a VMware perspective, we have this core management layer that really abstracts the data center and enables you to have this really ease of use when building and managing applications. And VMware and NetApp have been really closely hinged in that topology, right? Some of the things I mentioned before with respect to the APIs and simplifying that orchestration. Then you think about VDI, and we've done some incredible works with VDI, especially with the all-fast or all-flash FAS capabilities that we're bringing to the market. Business mobility is really big for our customers, and as a component of that, VDI is becoming a stronger component of that portfolio. Now, traditionally, VDI has been really relegated to a specific demographic or a specific use case. And the challenges that existed prior were cost and, frankly, performance. When you're leveraging the all-flash FAS capabilities in conjunction with VDI, you're able to really meet these new demands from our customers. So today, we're seeing, in a single FAS footprint, you can support up to 50,000 desktops, and then we're seeing that cost profile being driven down from $50 a desktop down to sub 40, and that is a huge achievement. So really driving down that cost and then really enabling that performance profile is paramount. And then finally, when I think about the synergy of our relationships historically, in vSphere 6, we came out with this incredible technology called vVols. And I get really excited when I talk about this because it's the embodiment of what we call the software-defined data center, this idea of extracting the data center from application workloads. And instead of thinking about, I got to build out the data center to meet this SLA, the inverse becomes true, where you're able to prescribe SLAs for applications and have the data center dynamically react to it. And that's some of the things that we're achieving with vVols in conjunction with NetApp. And I should mention that NetApp was the first partner to come out with vVols in the marketplace for both SAN and NAS.
Yeah, absolutely. Great example of the deep integration between our two teams and coming out with value for customers. So Jeff, you've heard of NetApp's vision for Data Fabric now and how we enable the freedom to move and use data anywhere it is, from disk to flash to cloud. How do you see NetApp's Data Fabric strategy mapping with VMware's vision? And then where do you see our technologies aligning in the future?
That's a great question. We're really excited about the Data Fabric strategy. If you look at some of the challenges our customers are facing today when thinking about linking the hybrid cloud. Data is at the epicenter of that, along with networking. And so the strategy of Data Fabric in terms of seamlessly linking in my data center with external providers is truly a great mission that we're linking in with. So it's one element you got to think, how do I get there? What's the journey? And at the foot of that, you're thinking pure abstraction. So we've done some great work to date in terms of software-defined data center solutions with converged infrastructure like FlexPod. But we want to take that one step further. With our Evo product line in conjunction with working with NetApp, we're abstracting it even greater element of the data center, creating this concept of a white box data center. And that's hyper-converged infrastructure. So with Evo NetApp solutions, you're going to see a lot more coming down and available today to enable that. And then once you're able to free yourself from the chains of the data center, you're really starting to now think about how do I link the cloud technologies together. And that's where Data Fabric comes in. And in fact, today we're working with some of our vCloud Air network partners to enable that strategy with Data Fabric.
Good, exciting stuff. Jeff, you have a perspective session this week coming up. What will attendees be learning, and why should they attend?
Yeah, so we have a lot of great sessions lined up. I hope everyone can make them. I want to plug one in particular that Dave Hintz is going to introduce for us, which is going to be great. It's a reference architecture that we came out in conjunction with NetApp around VDI. And the idea is that we're going to deploy 10,000 desktops in 12 days, which is just an astronomical feat. So that session is going to be played out, and I hope everyone can attend it.
Very good. Jeff, I want to say I appreciate you being out here. I appreciate the alignment between our companies, your sponsorship of this event, the integration that we do in engineering to bring values to customers, and for the great future that we'll have between us. All right?
Absolutely.
Thanks very much.
Thanks, Roger.
All right. So I think it's pretty obvious, partners are critical to the data fabric. We just had great presentations from Fujitsu and VMware, but also so is the technology, our products and solutions. And the person best equipped to explain that is our new Executive Vice President of Product Operations, Joel Reich. Joel has been with NetApp for 13 years. He's been in the industry over 30 years doing things like product and technology management in the storage industry. He has a big job right now. So in his newest role, he's responsible for enabling the evolution of our data fabric vision, focusing on the needs of customers as they evolve their IT environments to take advantage of the hybrid cloud. Without any further ado, I'd like to introduce Joel Reich.
Okay. Thank you, Roger. Oh, wait. Thank you, Roger. Now, that music was playing before one of the many events that I participated in when I was in Bangalore last month. Now, there was dead time before one of my events started, and I decided I needed some music. So I went to the back of the room to talk to the guy at the soundboard, and I handed him my iPhone because the only selection he had were the greatest hits of Kenny G, and I decided that wasn't going to get me going for the afternoon. So I handed him my iPhone, he plugged it into the system, and I used my Apple Watch, this one here, and selected a song from my music library. Now, my music library is in iCloud, and it's also on the Macintosh on the desk in my home office in Massachusetts. Now, I was able to play Heart of Steel from my library while I was halfway around the world. Now, that's a personal data fabric, and it just worked. Now, imagine if you could make a hybrid cloud that just works. Imagine if you could be every application developer's best friend rather than the reason or the excuse of why they don't think they can get their work done in time. And imagine if you could back up and restore and archive data and help your organization fulfill its cloud mandate today. Imagine if you could define your cloud strategy now and choose a provider now and still have the freedom to change later. You could redefine yourself, your job, and your career. Imagine applying skills that you already have to make cloud just work. You can be the architect of your company's transformation to the cloud. Imagine if, with your skills, you can build the hybrid cloud that users need and want. Not one dictated by a single vendor's offerings. Right? That sets up a world where all we do is recreate the application silos that we've spent the last 10 years trying to get rid of. It doesn't give customers the freedom to choose the best cloud solution for their needs today and change as their needs change later. That doesn't work. So how does the data fabric by NetApp enable the real hybrid cloud? The real hybrid cloud is a customer-centric hybrid cloud. It's multi-directional. Right? It's a cloud that supports and integrates the customer's choice of systems, hypervisors, and cloud providers. It's a cloud that lets customers choose on-premise, near the cloud, and in the cloud environments, in any combination. That's what the data fabric is all about, and it just works. And I'm going to show you how. I have some helpers who are going to come out also and help me show you. So since last year's Insight conference, when we announced the data fabric, we've built new capabilities into Data OnTap, the world's #1 storage operating system. New capabilities that continue to improve and expand the data fabric. Things like high availability synchronous replication, consistent data management across disk, flash, and cloud. All-flash FAS. Okay? These new features of CDOT make it better for building a data fabric. Now, we've also done something very important with this. Okay? These new capabilities in CDOT are available in 3 forms. In a box, okay? Will look familiar to you guys. Let's call that an engineered appliance. As software that runs on other folks' hardware, or in the cloud. 350, 450, 600. Right. Now, those are not new FAS models I'm introducing today. Those are actually the thread count of bed sheets that I reject. My wife accuses me of being a thread count snob. She's right. Right, there are never enough threads in my sheets. And it's not just the thread count that matters, it's the quality, right? It has to be Egyptian cotton. Trust me, I'm going to get you there. When you build a data fabric, it's like weaving a real fabric. It's a series of threads that are different strengths and different colors, right, that all come together to create versatility. Right? The choice of the threads will determine what you can use the fabric for. Right, so what I'm going to take you through, since I'm a thread count snob, is the thread count of the data fabric. Okay, because adding public cloud into your environment could add management complexity. We're making sure that you could manage that complexity, both on-prem and off-prem, with the on-command manageability suite, including on-command Insight and on-command Cloud Manager. You can streamline the deployment, management, and tracking of hybrid cloud resources as one single virtual entity. Right? If you think about the journey to the cloud, in some cases it'll be a journey back from the cloud. It's kind of like having children in their 20s. Right? You send them out, they come back. You send them out, they come back. They figure out it's less expensive to live in your basement rather than live in an apartment. But you have to be able to keep track of them. That's the same way it works with your data in the hybrid cloud. So managing it as a single entity is very important, right? And that's one thread that keeps the fabric wrinkle-free. So yesterday, if you were at the session, we started celebrating our 5-year anniversary of our FlexPod partnership with Cisco. We have over 6,300 common customers, $5.6 billion in revenue, and more than 1,100 partners who've helped us deliver that. In the last 12 months, we've added integrated FlexPod configurations and reference architectures for the data fabric, including OpenStack. Many customers want a complete solution that's pre-integrated and ready to use, and FlexPod allows you to get that. We also have an all-flash FAS FlexPod. Say that 10 times fast. And over 100 NetApp integrated validated designs. So Cisco and our other partners add more threads to the data fabric. In the last 12 months, we released AltaVault. If you weave the AltaVault thread into the fabric, you can securely back up your data into almost any cloud. Amazon, Microsoft, Google, SoftLayer, Rackspace, and more. In less than 30 minutes. That just works. Each thread adds versatility. Weave StorageGrid into the fabric, and you get object storage at massive scale, on-premises and in the cloud. Combining AltaVault with StorageGrid, you can back up data from dozens of existing data sources in your existing environment to a long-term object store using industry-standard protocols. It's simple, it's wicked awesome, and it just works. Those are just some of the threads. Also in our thread count is our E-Series and EF products. They provide the best enterprise-grade building blocks for SAN applications, emerging big data applications, and OpenStack deployments. We could also add non-NetApp products into the thread count. We've added capabilities now to FlexArray that make easy migration to OnTap possible. These allow you to get more value out of the data fabric by adding products from HP and EMC to the weave, which may seem like strange bedfellows. So we've talked a lot about moving to the cloud, but some customers don't want their data in the public cloud at all because, like a sketchy hotel, you never know who's been sleeping in the sheets in the public cloud. They want to take advantage of the agile compute that the cloud provides and maintain complete ownership of the data. And that's exactly what NetApp Private Storage does. And customers love NetApp Private Storage, and it's gaining momentum. Nearly 150 customers have recently included an NPS deployment as part of their hybrid cloud. By the way, be sure to come to Dave Hitz's talk tomorrow during this session, where he and a team are going to demo some amazing things. I've been in this business a long time, and what they're showing is wicked cool. It's not to be missed. So today, there are many threads in the data fabric. Right? It's our vision for data management and our technology architecture for the hybrid cloud. It's the direction of our portfolio. And we're working with new and existing partners to add to the weave. Now, imagine combining the technologies I just mentioned with the data management expertise in this room. What could we do together? What can you do with the knowledge and experience you have built over the years? Many of the things you already know to do on your NetApp systems have already set you up in helping your customers or your organization move to hybrid cloud. The investments you have made have already positioned you to succeed in this brave new world. Organizations around the world are already using the data fabric to achieve amazing outcomes by innovating faster. They're mapping the human genome. They're moving billions of dollars around the world. They're finding new sources of energy. They're saving lives. Let's take a closer look at how they're achieving these great outcomes. The first customer is one of Europe's largest HR services firms. They specialize in service and contract staffing for temporary and permanent jobs. They got an executive mandate last year to move entirely to Amazon Web Services in 5 years. They adopted a hybrid cloud strategy to bridge their on-premise performance needs with public cloud DR. They replaced non-NetApp infrastructure and added flash for performance on-premise so they can leverage a single platform for failover in the AWS using Cloud OnTap. They lowered risk and met their performance requirements. They got reliable, cost-effective DR. They improved the efficiency of their organization. They were able to use skills that they already had, on-prem and off-prem. And they got amazing investment protection with an infrastructure that is cloud-ready to fulfill their mandate. They got started. They had 5 years. It took 1. Another customer that's already using the data fabric to change the way they operate and change the trajectory of their business is Verdata. They're a Technicolor company. They provide a massively scalable Internet of Things platform. They created a device management platform that provides real-time insight as well as reporting on historical trends. They gathered a lot of data. Right? Actually, it's a very exciting case study. They're here at Insight. They have sessions. I recommend, they're actually an Innovation Award winner. I recommend that you take the opportunity to talk to them. Now, they needed a platform that can collect information from millions of devices while offering flexible deployment options from different target markets and customer requests. So here's what they did. They deployed OpenStack and FlexPod on-prem in a private cloud, and then NetApp Private Storage for Amazon Web Services and SoftLayer, cross-connected in a hybrid configuration, using Cloud OnTap and AWS to meet the needs of their customers for pre-production test and development. This is an amazing use of existing technology that transformed how this company managed, secured, protected, and moved from one cloud to another. So those were 2 examples of people who've used existing skills to build a data fabric, and they are no different than you. In fact, if you know OnTap, you know Cloud OnTap. If you know snaps and storage virtual machines and other data management techniques, you already know how to back up to the cloud or switch from one cloud to another. But there are thousands of threads to add to the thread count. All of you. Your expertise makes you the threads that truly holds the data fabric together. But enough talk, it's time to geek out. You've heard a lot about the data fabric, our vision and how our customers use our technology. Now we're going to actually show you how it works with products available today. I'm pleased to introduce Jeff Baxter and Neto from Brazil. Gentlemen.
Thank you. So, I love you too. So thank you, Joel. My name is Jeff Baxter. I'm CTO for the Americas here at NetApp, and it's my distinct honor and privilege to share the stage with Neto from Brazil.
Thank you, Jeff. Hi, all. This is Neto from Brazil. How are you? Thank you so much. It's a big honor to be here. I work in our proof of concept labs in RTP, CPOC. And we have been doing POCs and demos for customers almost every day. And it's a big privilege to show these demos to you guys.
Excellent. So let's get to it.
Okay, NetApp. I love this company.
So Joel talked about a lot of the technologies that we're bringing to bear today, right? Things like NetApp Private Storage, Cloud OnTap, AltaVault. Let's go ahead and get started. Why don't you go ahead and bring up our new On-Command Cloud Manager tool for me.
Okay. So here we have On-Command Cloud Manager. I'm going to sign in. And as you can see on screen, on your left, we have near the clouds, we have NetApp private storage that we have a FAS attached to it. On your right, we have on-premises, a FAS attached to our POC labs. And we have a replication in place between both clouds.
So, Neto, one of the things when I talk to customers, they're getting tired of building out new data centers, and especially tired of building out a brand new second data center just for DR, right? A bunch of equipment sitting there, storage, compute, essentially idle just to hold data. So what we've been talking with them about and sharing is the concept of what if you use NetApp private storage, and instead of replicating the data and building out a whole new data center, what if NetApp private storage was your second data center and you replicate your data out near the cloud? Is that something we can show people today?
Yes, I can.
So I know Joel was talking about having a database on-prem that he really wanted backed up.
Yes, I have that database here. As you can see, we have a database on premises. The name is Joel's database, and we have 3 letters, E, F, and G. And that sits on a FAS on premises.
Okay, so Joel's got his database. It's sitting on-prem. He wants it backed up and replicated out to NetApp private storage. So we have a new tool that we've just released a couple months ago called SnapCenter. I believe you can show me how we do that with that
Yes,
tool.
I can. So as you can see, we have SnapCenter. So let me do here. So I'm going to sign in. I'm going to settings, and I'm going to show 2 storage virtual machines. One on premises in POC labs, and another one in NPS, NetApp private storage. We have 2 hosts attached to it. One on premise, POC labs, and another one in AWS. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to select my data set, and I'm going to create a backup, an application consistency backup on premises. And hold on one second. Done.
Okay, so literally 3 or 4 clicks, and you've kicked off an application consistent backup of Joel's database using all the skills, using all the tools, using all the heritage of SnapManager and SnapDrive that we all know, but now in the single pane of glass management that does both on-prem and in the cloud.
And also, as you can see on the screen, on the job details, you have on-premise, SQL.
Yep.
And also, we are replicating the data from on-premise to near the clouds in NetApp private storage.
Now, I know we've sped this up because bandwidth is bandwidth. It takes some time to replicate regardless. But you're telling me that within this one job, within those 2 clicks, the way you set this policy up is not only have we taken an application consistent backup on-prem, but as part of that, we've replicated directly from on-prem and CPOC straight out into NetApp private storage.
Right.
Very cool. So we've got that data sitting out there in NetApp private storage, and we don't just want to let it sit idle. So I know one of the best use cases for NetApp private storage has been test and development, right? We talked about making the application developers our new best friends. So what if we could take that data and use it for test dev? I think we have some technologies that can do that, right?
Yes. So as you can see on the screen, we have NetApp private storage, system manager. That's the same data management that we have on premises. So we have here an aggregate that I have 18 volumes using 1.5 terabytes. So what I can do with this is I can use SnapCenter to create clones, and I'm going to show it to you.
So 18 volumes, 1.5 terabytes, same exact tool.
Yes. So right now, I'm going to click clone the backup. I'm going to use the policy that we have, but I'm going to clone from secondary. Remember that we replicate from on-premise to near to the cloud, to NetApp private storage. I'm going to use that data.
Okay.
Here, but the nice about that I'm going to use a compute layer, not on-premise. I'm going to use in AWS.
So you've used the data that you already replicated with our previous demo into AWS, and your compute servers are actually sitting on AWS. It's not servers that you had to purchase and put out there.
Exactly right. So right now, I'm just finishing the clone. I'm just doing the auto-assign. That's a typical clone using SnapCenter. I'm going to select the snapshot. I'm going to select the archive location to apply all the logs, and pretty much it's done.
So this looks really familiar, right? These are skill sets that many in the audience already have from a decade or more of working with things like FlexClone, with SnapDrive, with SnapManagers, now in the single pane of glass for both on-prem and the cloud.
Yes, I'm creating one clone here, but also what I'm going to show to you on the job details in a few minutes, that I'm going to have 4 clones.
Okay.
4 clones for dev and test using data near the cloud in NetApp private storage, and 4 clones attached to AWS in a compute layer, as you can see right now.
So I know we're going through the job details. What's happening as we walk through this?
So here you can see AWS on the top. We are doing all the queries on the host to create a application consistency clone from my SQL database, and I'm going to attach that clone to SQL in AWS.
So literally just a couple steps, same tools we use to create the backup and the replication,
yes,
we're now using to create clones. And you've created 1 clone, and you could automate it just as easily to create 4 clones or 100 clones.
Yes, as you can see here on the screen, we have 4 clones, but could be 100 clones as well. You're completely right.
So how much space does that end up taking?
Let me check, hold on. So back to System Manager on NetApp Private Storage. You can see 26 volumes still using 1.5 terabytes.
So 26 volumes. We had 18 volumes originally, so that's 8 more volumes, 4 for logs, 4 for data for each of the clones. 1.5 terabytes before, 1.5 terabytes today.
Yep.
What if it was 100 clones?
It's the same, flex clone, same data management.
So all the skills, everything we've known, but now using no additional space, but using all of the compute and all the resources of the cloud.
Yep, it's the same.
Wow. So what we've basically done in just a few minutes is put our data in the right place to get the job done. And when Joel talked about becoming best friends with your application developers, how great is it that you can stand up test and dev in the cloud, take up no additional space, and in minutes give them whole environments in which they can work? I mean, can any of our competitors do this?
Nope.
Can HP do it?
Nope.
Can EMC
Never.
do it? Who can do it?
Ever. NetApp.
Only NetApp. Very good. Yeah, you can applaud for him on that. Come on. So, okay, we've just made best friends with our application developers, and we put everything in the cloud. What happens, though, if the cloud goes offline, right? We've suddenly taken our best friends and made them not quite so happy. Outages are a fact of life. All of us, actually, anyone in the audience out there who has never experienced an outage, please raise your hand. No? Okay, you, me, blackjack table tonight. You are the luckiest man in the world. But outages are a fact of life, and our hyperscaler partners, right, the AWSs of the world, the Azures, the SoftLayers, incredibly resilient, but everyone suffers outages every so often. So we don't want those application developers that we've just become tight with to suddenly be mad at us. Do we have some solutions we can offer there?
Yes, of course. NetApp Private Storage, it's a multi-cloud environment.
Multi-cloud environment. Okay, what do you mean by that?
Okay, let's take a look. So as you can see on the screen, we have Microsoft Azure console, and I have one of my database instances sitting there, CSG SQL 01.
Okay, so Azure CSG SQL 01. Got it.
Okay? So what I'm going to show right now to you is failover cluster in SQL, but my database is actually running on CSG SQL 02. Question for you, where is that?
So this is I didn't know there's a quiz. So this was a clustered SQL database. You showed me CSG SQL 01's running in Azure, but the active node is CSG SQL 02. So where's that running, Neto? I don't know.
Okay. So
I mean, I do.
But that database is running on, that instance is running on AWS.
Okay.
So we have SQL 01 in Azure, SQL 02 in AWS. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to stop.
Whoa, you're shut. Okay, so you just shut that instance down.
Yes.
And what's happening?
That's it.
It's offline. That's not good. Okay, wait. 1, 2,
done.
3. So 5 seconds.
Yeah.
5 seconds, you just took Joel's database that was sitting on Azure, and in just 5 seconds, you had it running in an entirely dissimilar cloud over in AWS.
Yeah. So, okay.
Okay, so was that, how long, was it 1 terabyte database? How long would it be if it was 5 terabytes?
It's the same.
5 seconds?
Yeah.
What, 100 terabyte database?
Yeah, same.
5 seconds.
One very important note. Remember, that was really fast. You agree?
Yeah.
Okay. Why? Because the data never moves. The data is in NPS.
So it's near the cloud. It's not in the cloud. So regardless of how big the database is, 5 seconds.
Yeah.
So imagine if you can deliver to your business. Imagine if you can deliver to those application developers not only the benefits of the cloud, but complete protection and the ability to move between completely dissimilar cloud architectures. That's pretty darn cool. So let's talk about Cloud OnTap. So Cloud OnTap, I mean, totally different thing than on-prem OnTap, right?
No, OnTap, Cloud OnTap.
Cloud OnTap, OnTap, on-prem, same OnTap?
OnTap.
So it's OnTap.
OnTap.
Okay, I'm hearing what you're saying. So can you show it to me?
Okay. So, same on-command cloud manager.
Okay.
As you can see on the screen, Amazon on our left,
Yep.
and you have a cloud on top attached to it.
Okay.
Okay? CPOC, fast attached, and we have NetApp private storage, a fast attached as well. So here we have Amazon replicating to CPOC on premises,
Yep.
and we have a replication in place between NetApp private storage to CPOC.
Very cool. So,
Question for you.
yeah,
What is that warning sign?
I don't know. You're supposed to remove those before demos.
Oops.
Yeah. No, actually, I do know what that warning sign's about. One of the cool features of On-Command Cloud Manager, I really like this, is what it's telling us is we've actually paid for storage in AWS that we haven't yet deployed in Cloud OnTap. So it's warning us that we're actually paying for a resource that we haven't yet utilized to drive business. So yeah, it's a warning icon, but it's actually a pretty cool warning icon because it's once again driving value for the business.
Okay, what do we want to do here?
So are you able to then take Joel's database, for example, or data that we put in Cloud OnTap and replicate it back on-prem?
Okay, are you asking me to
I mean, what tool would you use for that?
SnapCenter?
SnapCenter.
Yeah, the same data management.
Same exact tool we've just done 2 demos of.
Yes.
So should we do another demo?
Do you
like
really
another
want me
4-minute?
to do that?
You guys want to see another 4-minute demo of Snap? No. Same exact tool, same exact demo. Doesn't matter whether it's Cloud OnTap, NetApp private storage, on-prem. Looks exactly the same regardless.
Yeah, it's on top.
Awesome. So let's not bore these fine folks to death. And more importantly, I'll give a cheap plug. I want you to come see my colleagues tomorrow where they're going to show you an even better way of doing this restore. So same bat time, same bat channel tomorrow. Come on back. So, you know, Neto, the cloud isn't just about hyperscalers, right? Out in this audience, we have cloud service providers, we have systems integrators, we have value-added resellers who either have already started to offer cloud services to our customers in the audience or are thinking about how they can do it. And I know we have solutions that we can offer to make that easier for these partners out there. So let's talk about one of them. Why don't you go ahead and bring up NetApp StorageGrid? You know, NetApp StorageGrid is our object storage solution. It can be used for general purpose object storage for massive amounts of data. Or in this particular demo, we're going to go ahead and use it as a backup repository that a cloud service provider or systems integrator might go ahead and use as a target that they could do for backups. Now, they've created this target for backups with StorageGrid. What are they going to use? How are they going to make it easy for customers to take their data that's on-prem and replicate it into that new storage instance they've created? Well, for that, we have AltaVault, right? So go ahead, let's bring up the AltaVault instance we have setting for on-prem.
Okay, so here we have on-prem AltaVault console. As you can see, we have the cloud information. Let me show you this. We have the provider, NetApp StorageGrid Web Scale, and we have a bucket name, the repository name. The name is Joel's Awesome Backup.
Okay, I'm going to remember that. Joel's Awesome Backup. Got it.
Okay, and I'm going to show the CIFS share that we have in AltaVault, that I'm going to use that CIFS share to point to my backup.
So this is the CIFS share that it extends out to the backup application?
Yes, exactly.
Okay,
so
very good.
let me go back to SQL.
Okay.
We have a database. Let me do a backup using SQL Server here. I'm going to backup. I have a local backup, and I'm going to remove. And right now, I'm going to type the CIFS share that I show you in AltaVault.
And you're using the SQL backup tool, the native tool right now, but this could easily, just as easily be NetBackup or Simpana or any one of a number of different backup tools from
Absolutely.
our partners.
Yes, you're completely right.
Okay.
So I'm going to finish my backup, and we are going back to AltaVault to see some nice reports.
So yeah, so right now the backup's running. What does it look like inside of AltaVault?
Okay. So AltaVault, I'm going to show 2 very nice reports. We have plenty here. So front-end throughput, I'm going to change the window to 5 minutes, and you can see all the backup coming from my backup to AltaVault.
So this is showing it actually streaming from that SQL backup straight into the AltaVault appliance.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Okay.
I'm going to show another one here. I'm going to show the storage optimization.
Okay.
Okay? So AltaVault is doing storage optimization to that backup. As you can see, I'm going to change the window here to 5 minutes. Hold on. And you are going to be able to see the duplication factor 3 to 1.
So
for
just
one backup.
We've put just one backup on that, one full backup. We haven't even started to do the additional backups or put more workloads, and we're already getting a 3-to-1 storage efficiency savings on this system.
Yes.
That's absolutely outstanding. So I know we just set up the StorageGrid system, and I know we just finished our first backup there, but what if I change my mind? Or what if, and it's already happened a couple times, I've chosen a cloud provider which is giving me notice that I'm going to go out of business, right? How, and I've just put months and months of backups, what can I do?
So you can use out-of-out cloud agility. You can move from your local storage provider like NetApp StorageGrid to Amazon S3 if you can.
Okay, so out-of-out cloud agility. Can you show me what that looks like?
Yeah, but I'm going to show something very nice to the guys. Any good demo has to be CLI.
Nice. Hands up.
Okay.
Quota, if we're doing it, there's one CLI in the demo no matter what.
So
three
commands, replication migrates. We are migrating from our provider, NetApp StorageGrid, to Amazon S3.
So literally, and I know we're speeding this up yet again, because once again, it takes time to move these things, but 3 commands saying where you want to go, all the authorization, and go ahead and go. And I'm moving not only all of my previous backups that were sitting out there on StorageGrid to S3, but I'm also setting it up so all my future backups now go out to S3.
Yeah, let me show you. So as you can see here right now, you have the cloud information. We are connected to Amazon S3, the provider here, and you can see the same bucket name, Joe's Awesome Backup.
Joel's Awesome Backup, and it's moved over to S3 just that easy. So if I were to summarize what we've shown just in the last 10 minutes or so, right, we've replicated Joel's database. We've taken an application-consistent backup of it. We've replicated it out near the cloud with NetApp Private Storage. We then use tools and skills that many of you already possess, things like FlexClone, right, to go ahead and create a test dev environment and become our application developers' best friends. We've shown you how in that environment you can fail from 2 entirely dissimilar clouds to another in literally seconds, and how you can create your own cloud with things like StorageGrid and back up to it with things like AltaVault, and even have the agility to move from one cloud to the other. I mean, Neto, this is pretty cool stuff. Who else can do this?
No one but NetApp.
No one?
No one.
Just NetApp.
Just us.
Absolutely.
And on premises, near the clouds, or in the clouds, NetApp Data Manager is the same. And I love it.
So you know who else is going to love it? Your IT architects that Joel talked about. Absolutely no lock-in. Your security team with your control of your data intact. And your CEO and your executive staff, when they realize that the skills that you already have and the tools that we've provided, you can deliver on the value of the cloud today with everything that we've shown you already. So Neto, we've moved this database from the cloud and back and forth, but I'm wondering, what if this database has some intense performance requirements? And I know you're Mr. Database, but you're also Mr. Performance. And if I had to guess, maybe you got a little flash demo for us.
Yes, I do, of course.
You guys want to see a flash demo?
Yes.
You all want to see a Neto flash demo?
Okay, so thank you very much. You guys know that I love and work for CPOC, and we have been doing a lot of great POCs, and one POC in particular was very nice. Customer came to CPOC, and he would like to use an Oracle application in a hybrid system, in a hybrid FAS, and he would like to simulate some I/O.
Okay.
But he would like, during the POC, to increase the working sets, the randomness of the application, and also inject some latency in the application. And he would like us to solve the problem and to see what's the downtime for their application.
Okay.
So the idea was 2 hybrid FAS, we are going to add 2 nodes, all flash FAS, and let's see what happens.
Okay. Let's hit it.
So, custom dashboards, as you can see. On the top, we have application layer. We are collecting real-time Oracle statistics. Customer is happy, everything is green. On the bottom, I'm collecting NetApp layer, NetApp performance, and I'm showing latency, IOPS, everything is okay.
Okay.
So what's going to happen is we are going to increase the working sets, everything is going to be red.
Yeah.
Customer is not happy with that. So one solution, I can go to System Manager, I can select that volume and move. So I'm going to move to all flash FAS. 2 hybrids, we add 2 nodes, and we move from hybrid solution to all flash FAS.
System Manager with cluster data OnTap, 2, 3, 4 clicks, and boom, you've moved that
Boom.
volume.
And let's see what's going to happen in our dashboard. So right now, it's 47,000 IOPS, 1 millisecond response time. And also, if you guys realize, we are part of the POC, we are creating a lot of snapshots. Right now, we are close to 500 snapshots and 27 clones.
So in just a few clicks, you drove a system from about 10,000 IOPS, high latency, over to 40,000 IOPS, sub-millisecond latency. How much downtime?
And I can do more. So take a look here. I'm going to add more workloads. 200,000 IOPS.
Wait. 10,000 IOPS, 40,000 IOPS, now you're at 200,000 IOPS.
Yes.
How much downtime?
0.
No, really, like
0!
Ow. Feedback. So, no downtime. Who else can do this? Can Pure do this?
They cannot scale out, never, ever.
Can EMC do
Ever.
this? Who can do this, Neto?
Only NetApp, only us.
Snapshots, clones still doing. Only NetApp can do this non-disruptively. Disk to flash, keeping your application integration going. Only NetApp delivers this value. That's outstanding.
I love it.
So,
we love it.
So we took this database. We started on-prem. We moved it to NetApp Private Storage. We used NetApp Private Storage for test dev. We used AltaVault to send it to the cloud. Then we took that same database and we drove it from 10,000 IOPS to 40,000 IOPS to 200,000 plus IOPS with absolutely no disruption to the business. So you know what, Neto? That's why I love this company.
And we love this.
Thank you, Bob.
Thank you, man.
It's now my privilege and honor to welcome Joel Reich back to the stage. Thank you.
Obrigado. Thank you, Jeff and Neto. That was wicked cool, wasn't it? So we have just scratched the surface of what's possible using these technologies and solutions available from our partners today. Now, there's much more to see at Insight Central. Maybe even Neto will be there. There's dozens of demos of what's possible today, and there's a hands-on lab. So please stop by and test drive the data fabric. Insight Central opens tomorrow at 10 a.m. Let's bring Roger out. Roger, come on back out here.
So Joel, I mean, I was back there watching the demo. I thought it was pretty fantastic. But that performance, I'm pretty sure we can do a lot better. And I know you're all about performance.
Yeah, I was kind of unfulfilled by that.
Yeah, I think we need to get Neto back out here.
Yeah, let's get Neto back out
Neto!
here.
Come on.
Am I in trouble?
Maybe.
So let's go back and take a look, see if we can do more. Okay, so we finish at 220,000 IOPS, 2015 snapshots to celebrate in South 2015. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to remove 2 hybrid nodes and add 2 all-flash fast nodes. As you can see, add 2 nodes, and we have some bubbles that are going to move. And let's see what happens. Oops, 400,000 IOPS.
Yeah, so that's pretty pure performance.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you guys want to see more or no? Okay, so let's add 2 more nodes. 2 all-flash fast nodes. 2 guys, more bubbles, let's move workloads around. So let's see what happens. Oops, close to 500,000 IOPS, and we passing, I think.
Passing extreme.
Oops, almost there. More or that's okay?
More.
More?
More.
I can't hear.
More?
Okay, 2 more nodes. So, more bubbles. Let's see. Oops, 900,000 IOPS. 5,000 snapshots. Okay, that's enough, right?
No.
Come on.
More? Okay, I need your help. So, I need you guys, and I need you guys. 1, 2, 3, okay? So, 1, 2, 3. So 1 million IOPS, 7,000 snapshots. Is that okay?
That's excellent.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Neto. That was excellent. And so that was fantastic performance.
Hey, so what do you think?
Well, first of all, I think that was amazing, right? I mean, we went from, I think, what, 200,000 when I came out to up almost, well, to over a million.
Yep.
Almost 1.2. And I think it's pretty damn fast.
I agree. Right, so we're so confident in the performance of both the EF and all-flash FAS that we're offering a 3x performance guarantee over traditional disk-based arrays.
All right.
You see it there.
All right, you heard it right here from Joel. Right, customers, please contact. Why is that funny?
They're like the see you later.
Oh, it already came up. Okay, you heard it here. Contact your NetApp sales rep to make good on this. The first 100 folks who inquire at the NetApp booth tomorrow get one of these shirts.
That's mine.
See if I could make this go faster.
All right, Neto, Joel, thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Great job.
Hey, do you know where my game?
I take it everybody appreciated the NetApp webpage today. Yeah, pretty cool. So you heard a lot today from partners and NetApp product experts, how we're enabling data fabric. And I really hope you were impressed with what you saw. Obviously, folks like Jeff, Neto, pretty talented guys, and I think they put a lot of work into that demo. I could hear a lot of the applause, so really appreciate that on their behalf. Also hope you were, yeah, sure. Hope you're also very impressed. I think we had fantastic presentations by our sponsors for today, Fujitsu and VMware. Fantastic job. So another round of applause for them, please. You know, our portfolio is really changing data management in the hybrid cloud. We showed you how you can take advantage of incredible flash performance, consistent data management across disk, flash, and cloud, and you can do it today. We'll spend a lot of time talking about what's still to come. So if you thought today was exciting and interesting, wait till tomorrow. We've got another one of our founders on stage tomorrow, Dave Hitt, so he'll be doing a pretty exciting demo for you. And I'm pretty sure that one's going to blow your mind as well. So tomorrow is a special day. It's Certified User Day. This is where we publicly recognize all NetApp certified professionals. And there'll be a special, hold for it, Greet and Geek session with NetApp execs. So this is an investment of everyone who's become NetApp certified. We appreciate the effort. We appreciate the loyalty to NetApp. We're going to celebrate tomorrow. So your feedback is really important for this event. I've heard from some of the folks running the show, Roger, we're not getting enough feedback. We take it really seriously, believe me. We read everything that comes back. If you love it, if you got something you'd like to see different, we want to hear all of it. The way that you send your feedback in is through the Insight app. So I hope, folks, everybody has downloaded that. Seems to be a pretty powerful tool. I've looked at some of the activity stream going through there. But get in there, if you would, please, and send your feedback. Also, one thing I wanted to mention yesterday, we have a group of folks that are attending. They're NetApp employees. They're consulting systems engineers. You may have seen some folks walking around with gray shirts that says CSE on it. These guys are technology experts. So if you're a customer, a partner, or another NetApp colleague, employee, please seek these folks out, ask them what their specialty is, and ask them some questions. So the call to action is we'll bring the second day general session to a close. You know, no one company, when we think about building data fabric, no one company can make this happen by themselves. So whether you're a customer, partner, you have a part to play in the development of data fabric. And in this case, the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. Have a great evening. Thank you, and we'll see you tomorrow.